That one? This one?
That one.
Yeah.
Okay,
4K. We gotta get the 4K.
Hello, Psycho backers. Happy holidays. I'm here with Zach McClendon. Once again, my name is Tim, and we're here to give you an update on our progress on Psychonauts 2. So close to the holidays, before we take off, we thought we'd just show you some cool things, including rewards that are in progress and are close to their final designs that a lot of backers are going to get. Get an update on the production, and then see some new cool things.
New characters.
New
characters.
Very special characters.
Yes.
So we've been working on a lot of the physical rewards that people have signed up for, including a cool T-shirt done by Rex Crowell from Knights and Bikes fame and Tearaway and Little Big Planet. It's an awesome artist. Has this cool new looking shirt. It's obviously going to be CG'd on our bodies. We have a new poster from Scott Campbell, Scott C.
A lot of the game takes place around the Psychonauts headquarters, so it's going to be Sasha and Mia and Coach and Truman and some new characters who haven't
friends
met
and
yet.
new.
New friends.
And a black velvet painting from Nathan Bagel Stapley.
Which is the first time he ever painted on black velvet. He had to learn how to do it. He did not know how to do it.
Yeah, so I'm all about black velvet right now. It turns out you have to wash the velvet before you can put on it.
Oh, interesting.
I'm a big black velvet fan. And I've seen it, and it's cool, and I want to steal it, but I think a backer is going to get it.
Someone gets the original, and then there'll be prints for other people.
And Peter Chan.
That one's actually going to be a piece of concept art for the game. We're going to pick one of the nice pieces of concept art, and someone will get the original, and then we'll make the rest into nice posters.
That is some art. We have a more final look of our Raz figurine that we're doing for the backers. Look how cool it is. 3 inches mini? That's a loaded question. So those are all going into production, and they'll be done as soon as they can, and we'll get those out to backers as soon as we can.
Great.
Let's talk about the game.
Talk about the game.
How's the game going?
Game's going really well. We showed off first playable in the last big update.
Do people know what first playable is? First playable is like the first time you can play the game and say, I played Psychonauts 2.
It's sort of like on the pass, no pass. It's like, it's a good version of the game as opposed to a big pile of mess, which is what we had up until then. And now we're working through production. We got 5 full level teams. We're working on brains, we're working on more of the hub, we're working on gameplay systems, we're working on powers, we're working on all kinds of crazy stuff. And we know a lot more about not only kind of the size and the scope of the game we're going to make, but how long it takes us to make that and how long it's going to take us to make that good. And that's all really good news. The less good news is because of that, we now know that it is not going to be done in 2018.
Wait, cut.
I didn't agree to this. We do know about...
But we are making great progress? I mean,
we are making great progress. And we do know about how long it's going to take, but we don't really want to say anything until we can get a firm date for people. We don't want to be a thing where it's like, well, we think it's here, and then it might be here or there. We want to know exactly where we're going to land and sort of communicate that when we have the exact information.
that sounds reasonable.
But the good news is, you know, we want to give it the time to make it something that that we love and that the fans love, and that sort of continues the legacy of Psychonauts 1 in a real meaningful and special way.
Yeah, and the game's obviously making great progress, and we don't want to release it before it is great. So that's what we're going to do.
Yep.
And now we can look at actual stuff from the game.
Yeah, we're going to show some of the new characters. One of the nicest things about working on Psychonauts 2 is, you know, Psychonauts 1 took place in a little camp, and it was such a small slice of that world, and this is the first time we're sort of going out into the larger world, and there's so much new stuff to make,
including because the holidays are all about
family.
Raz's family. Raz's family was alluded to in some vaults in the first game.
Yeah, there was. Well, I mean, his dad shows up. His dad was obviously a major part of Psychonauts 1, and in one of the vaults, there was a picture of all of Raz's family.
The Aquatos doing their big high wire tricks.
Yeah,
they were famous for.
But we got the chance to work with Scott again to sort of bring these characters to life, starting from that little tiny sketch in the vault.
Oh my goodness! When was the last time we talked to Scott? His beard's just getting huge.
And I feel like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to work with those shapes again. I can't wait to do that with a renewed strength that I've built through the years. I feel like really excited to revisit it.
This is the stuff I was always really excited to get back to, because in the first game we did develop a lot of his family history and why it leads to him having the special powers and weaknesses that he has in the first game, and getting to go back and look at, you know, what caused that and how it's not over yet. His backstory's not over.
And how it's...
I guess backstories are technically over, but some of those...
You're always making new backstory.
Events are coming into his future.
Yeah, and how that maybe relates to the Psychonauts history also. But yeah, so I mean, the process first is sort of figuring out, you know, some real high level, what is this character's personality? What do they need to do in the story? Is there anything that's important visually to come through with them? You know, for Raz's family, we wanted them to obviously all feel like they were part of the same group and have a family resemblance.
I don't know, I think that's a little bit
Yeah.
more just.
I think it's like that's part of their stories. They've been forced to do this because of the curse. They've been forced to like have a really rinky-dink circus. They can't join the big circus because they'll die in water and all that stuff. So I think that part of it where they're kind of suffering. They're seen as kind of like doing the best they can with what they have, I think is good.
Psychonauts characters are all over the map. Scott does a lot of initial exploration of just body shapes and body types and how these characters could be. This is initial early explorations of all the characters. And
there's a note there, wonderful hair all around, just in
that
case.
they all should have. This one's kind of a kidney bean skateboard. I like the kind of teen heartthrob. He looks like he's
Yeah, because he's misunderstood. He's kind of mad. He's kind of mad at Raz.
yeah.
And I think that's cool.
Right, yeah, like some version of this sort of like tight acrobat ballet thing with all the binding, but with the cape. Like I think all of these are good. It's sort of finaling in on one.
And definitely the bows on the knees for Dave Russell's pleasure. Modeling pleasure.
You can actually model that stuff out now because it's not, we're not going to probably be polygon bound by the characters the way we would have been in Psychonauts 1. So, have I said no yet? No. I don't think I've said no. You've probably seen my eyes bug out in my head, but yeah.
And a cape, and a big floofy cape.
Yeah,
That's
big
also
cape.
always
Oh, we
fun
got all
to-
the cape stuff all figured out.
This is one, so this is like, are we gonna have a silly baby that doesn't do much or a mean baby that is like
Well, I
throwing
think we're
tantrums?
seeing him in the vault, I think, right? I mean, he seems to be pretty much going for it here. He seems like a little bit of a bully, but that's cool.
Donatella changed a lot, especially in her
change.
hair.
Oh,
That
now
was-
I'm kind of liking that hair.
like the-
Should go back to that one.
Do you think Frazie's, her hair is different enough than Donatella's?
I love that. I like that it's the
I like-
same, but it goes down.
Yeah.
Looks like it's got
She
a
also
little
has like
curl.
one little thing that hangs down the back. See that one?
We spent a lot of time talking about silhouettes. And we want all the characters lined up,
Yep.
make sure they all have distinct silhouettes. So if they're like across the level, you can still go like,
Yep.
that's Murtala's hair. That's
Here
a
they
pretzel.
are. Line them all up, do some more pushing and pulling. We've had a couple of group casts like this, and it's interesting for a character design perspective because we end up having to sort of do a pass on all of them, then sweep back, put them all together, adjust them a little bit, then do some colors on them, then bring them all together and adjust them a little bit. Because sometimes we've had the thing where we design 3 characters and then you put them next to each other and realize they all have purple skin and it looks weird for some reason.
He put Sam next to Lizzie, and they're both very dark blue, blackish colors.
Oh, okay.
Like Morris and Norma have the same color scheme now that I see it. See, this is, yeah, we got to make sure we look at these together.
And then Scott also usually does some
Mood board.
material call-outs. What's all the materials made out of? Because it's not necessarily clearly apparent from the sketches. And then what we've been doing also is having Bagel do, Bagel's got a really, really great sense of color. And so we've had him do color passes on all of the characters.
It's like pink on the top and the underside is light color. I think that works kind of cool. Like, because it seems like that would be, they'd have a nice satin inside and the outside would be more like a heavy cloth or something like that, you know?
They're a humble circus.
A dozen years of hard circus performances. They're all,
A lot of elf and shit on them.
yeah, that's right. More colors,
Less colors.
less
more
colors, fewer colors.
Some
Yeah,
shading.
This with shading, and he does sort of a lighting pass on it. To see how it
Ba-bam.
looks. Ba-bam, there
Done.
they are.
Neat.
Yeah, these are great. We're gonna model these. We're done.
So one of the characters we wanted to meet was Frazee, which is his older sister, and she's got a really cool design. So I think everybody just wanted to see her in 3D as soon as possible.
I want to make a game about Frazee.
So that's the character that I've been working on for the most. So she's been fun.
You know, first we get the models and they get rigged up, and that's always kind of an interesting thing because in a lot of video games that you work on, you know, characters are kind of human in a normal way, and a lot of Scott's characters have their eyes in weird places, and they've got strange clothing, and they've got weird proportions, and so it's a real challenge in a good way for the animation team and our technical artists to figure out how all of these pieces move together.
Sometimes it's a challenge, but it's good. I love his characters. I'm glad that they're weird. Her head's kind of big, but that's pretty normal for Scott. Sometimes big heads have been hard. With Psychonauts, it was hard because it's hard to get arms to reach straight up because the head is so large, the arms go through. She has to have like a sigh. If she has to play some lines, you know, then they can kick this animation off as she's kind of talking. They'll do a automated lip sync So the mouth is moving. Yeah, she's cool. But the main thing is once you start seeing the eyes moving, and then suddenly they're alive. Because wherever you're looking, you're pulling in something into your brain, right? You're processing, and I think that's what gives life to these characters.
That stuff all looks amazing. I love Raz's family. It came together so nice. And that's our update for the holidays. And now we're all going to take off. And you guys have a happy holidays. And you too
Happy
as
New
well,
Year.
Zach. And that's it for now.
We'll see you next time.
Next time. Bye.
Oh, we're not handshaking. I thought we were handshaking again. Oh, man.
Should you do it again?